This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, before going to starting this session, first of all, let me start the services. Let me cross-check the services. Go to the run command, and there is a type called services.msc. Just type here services.msc. Then you will get the services window. Here you can get all the services. Now go to the Microsoft services here. There is a Microsoft D365 Unified Operations. See here, the service is in running mode, and also there is a data import and export services also there. It is in running mode, and moreover, the most important services are there are like SQL Server services. See here, all the SQL services is running mode. This one is the very important SQL Server, and in bracket you will find the instance name of your service. That is what MS SQL Server. All these services should be in running mode. If any one of the services is not started, please start your service before launching your application. Okay, let me close this window, and before let me open the user interface of the Dynamics. Okay, here you will find the finance and operations uh, shortcut link. Usually it will take 1 minute to 2 minutes of time to redirect into the Microsoft services, Microsoft website, Outlook services. Already I have configured with my Outlook email ID and password. Okay, fine. This is what our user interface. Once it is open the user interface, you can see the main controls, main dashboard icons. These are the shortcuts here for different functionalities like bank management, cost controlling, master planning, and release, product maintenance. These are all shortcuts. Here we can add a few more shortcuts whenever you want, wherever you want here. Okay, here you will find the calendar control, and these are the shortcuts also here. The dashboard is completely about the shortcuts. Okay, and here there is a navigation pane. If you click here, you will get the favorites, recent, workspaces. These are all workspaces. Okay, like bank management, cost control, customer invoicing, budget planning. These are all workspaces. If you expand the workspaces, see here. Okay, and these are all modules. Coming to the modules, there are several modules we have, like accounts payable, accounts receivable, budgeting, cash and bank management, consolidation, cost accounting, cost management, expense management, fixed assets, fleet management, general ledger, human resource, inventory, organization administration. There is a payroll module, and there is a procurement and resourcing, uh, questionnaire module, sales and marketing, And there is an important module called system administration module, time and attendance, transportation, and also one more important module is warehouse management. These are all very important modules. Uh, Suppose if I want to navigate a particular module, you just need to click on the module name. For example, I just want to open a human resource management module. Just if you click here, it will redirect you to your human resource management module functionalities. You can able to see all the functionalities of your human resource management. Okay, here there is a expand button. If you expand, it will open all the functionalities at a time. If you collapse, something like this. Okay, if you want to open any particular app census, you can expand and you can open. You can click on the functionality. If you click on the expand all, it will expand all the functionalities at a time. These are all functionalities about the human resource management. These are all workspaces we have seen in the front end application, right? Personal management, compensation management, employee self-service. These are all workspaces. Workspace is also like a functionality, but it will accommodate two, three functionalities at a time in this particular workspace. I'll show you whenever it is required for you. Okay, now these are all default functionalities of a human resource management. Now, in this particular module, we have forms, reports, and dialog boxes will be there. Only three types of objects we will have in this particular module. In any module, not only human resource management, in any module, we have only three types of objects will be accommodated in this particular user interface. That is called forms, reports, and dialog boxes. First of all, let me show you a sample form. For example, there is a loan types. Let me open the loan types form. See here. This is your loan type form. Loan type, description, and a grace period. These are the columns. We can call it as a fields. Here there is a filter control. You can able to filter the data within the grid. This is called grid. Like if you click on edit button, you can show the lines. This is called grid. Loan type, description, and grace period are the field names. We can call it as a fields. Here there is a save button for creating a new record, for deleting a record, and there is an option button also here. In option button, we have several functionalities are there, button controls, like add to workspace. See here, if I want to add this page to the workspace, I can able to click on the workspace. Automatically, this form will be added to the workspace. Okay, and there is a edit button. Suppose if I want to share this page as a link, I can able to uh, get a link here. It is a URL based application, right? Web based application, so that we can get a link here. There are several functionalities are available in the options. Okay, this is your form name, loan types. Here the heading will come. Whenever we are developing a form, we will set one heading for the form, that is called form caption. Here you can see the form caption name. Suppose if you want to create a new record, you can use Alt N or click on the new button. Then automatically it will create a new record here. After entering the data, you just need to click on the save button. Automatically the record will be saved. And here there is a close button to close your current form, or you can use the escape button from your keyboard. Again, you will navigate to the user interface. Okay, now here there is a you are going to seeing about USMF. It is a company name. There are several companies are available here. There are several companies. Company means it's a legal entity. We can call it as a legal entity. Okay, I'll explain you about what exactly the company stands for here. Okay, here your administration controls like the user ID. If you want to sign out here, you can sign out your current login ID. Okay, and coming back to the modules, again, I just have opened already human resource management module. Uh, I just have opened previously loan types, right? Okay, let me open in any other form. For example, there is a course groups. See here, this is also same like loan types. Group is a field, description is a field. Okay, these are the records: corporate, finance, human resource, sales. These are the records. We can call it as a records. This is what form. Forms are storing the information with the help of the tables. So we have several types of forms are available, means templates. In our training program, we will learn how to create different types of templates. For example, if you go back to the again the user interface, let me open one more type of form. There is a form called course types. This is another design. Previously, we just have opened a simple form. This is another design. Whenever I'm selecting a record here, for example, I have selected a law. According to the law, these are the details about the law. These are the details about the skills, law certificates. Okay, all about once you select a record here, automatically the details will appear in the right hand side of your page. This is another design of the form. Obviously, any form requires tables. That means each and every form has their own tables. Sometimes we can may accommodate in one table, sometimes we can may required multiple tables. For a development of a form, we must and should we require a table. At least one table is required to develop a form. Without a table, we can't store the data permanently in the system itself. Form is a just user interface object. Form doesn't store data physically. Table is the object which is stores the data permanently in the system itself. I mean, database itself. Always tables are very important here. If you want to develop a form or if you want to customize a form, must and should we need to approach the tables. Tables are stored in physically in SQL Server itself. SQL Server is the database which we are using. Normally in any application, database is required. We are using SQL Server here to store the data. Whatever the forms, whatever the scenarios we are seeing here, for all the scenarios, they have their own tables. All the tables will be resided in SQL Server. Suppose if I want to customize any form, we need to approach the table. For example, I just want to add one more column in my loan types or in my course group form. So that I need to approach the table first. I need to customize the table, and after that the reflections will be added into our form itself. Anything, the tables is the major portion in our application. Tables are very important. The form is just a user interface object. Form doesn't store the data physically. Okay, let me go back to the again our user interface. Here there are several modules are there, like accounts payable, accounts receivable, budgeting, cash bank management. There are several modules are there. Okay, let me explain one by one. First of all, our product is ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Already I have explained this ERP. Okay, let me try to a few more things about ERP. For example, let me take one example of a company. In India, there is a famous company called Reliance. Reliance is a company, means it is an organization actually. It is an organization. In this organization, they have several sub-organizations will be there. Like for example, Reliance Network. Reliance Network is a company. Reliance Trends, Reliance Digital, uh, Reliance Footprint, Reliance Oil and Gas, something like Reliance Trends, Digital Footprint, Reliance Fresh, supermarkets, something like there are several sub organizations will be there. Sub organizations. Reliance is a brand actually. Network, Trends, Digital Footprint, these are all, we can call it as a legal entities. You are going to seeing here there is a companies right here. These are all companies. We can call it as a legal entities also. For example, we are developing a product for a Reliance. So you can able to see Reliance Trends, Reliance Digital, Reliance Network, Reliance Footprint, Reliance something like Reliance Fresh, Reliance something like entertainment, oil and gas. We can able to see all the functionality, all the legal entities of a Reliance. We can see here all about one company legal entities. There are a shortcut name is there, right? Like DAT, FRRT, FRSI. These are the company shortcut name. These are all company shortcut name. Right now we are in USMF company. I mean, for example, we are in networking company. For example, the networking company shortcut name I will give like a NWK, something like network. For example, trends, TRN, digital, DIG, shortcut name of a company that we will create whenever we are creating a company. That company we will create in organization administration module. If you go to the organization administration module, uh, let me open the organizations. Here there is a legal entities form is available. Just click on the legal entities form. Okay, here you can see all the company names: GLSI, US, CNMF, USMF, all the company names you can see here. Suppose if I want to create a new company, see here, for creating a new company, there is a company name, company shortcut code, company region. When you click on OK button, automatically the company will be added to your existing companies. For suppose I'm going to I'm going to establishing one more company. For example, something like Reliance, uh, any business into the something like motor field. Okay, Reliance Motors. So I need to create a company, right, to store the data. So here I will create a company name called Reliance Motors, RMS, Reliance Motor Services. Okay, in which region I'm going to starting this business. I need to enter the region name, like a country, Colombia, China, whatever it is. Okay, I need to select the company name. If you click on OK button, automatically the company will be added to your existing company in the existing company list. Now you can operate your functionalities after creating your company. Now, in each company, there are several functionalities. Like each company, we have a customers, we have a vendors, we have a financial things like general ledger, we have inventory management, we have warehouse management, we have transportation management, we have fixed assets, something like we have a HR, we have um, all the functionalities we have seen right already. If you go back to these are all modules: expense management, general ledger, procurement and sourcing, expense management, cost accounting. These are all modules. That is called functionalities. Every module having their own functionalities. See, all these functionalities available for all the companies. Suppose right now I'm in a company called USMF. Suppose if I opened, let me uh, let me tell you about companies related information. For example, there is a mm, for example, there is a cash and bank management. Okay, let me open the bank accounts. See, we have three bank accounts. For which company? USMF. I mean, I just have opened USMF company bank accounts. If I want to open Trends company bank account, you just need to navigate to Trends company here. For example, go back to the something like that. See here, there is no bank accounts for a DAT company. If I want to move to the digital company bank accounts, I just need to select digital bank, digital company name. For example, that is called FRRT. Let us assume that FRRT. This is called DAT. For example, let us imagine that there are two bank accounts are available for this FRRT. The data will be navigated based on the company name. Data will be accommodated based on the company name. I mean, data is a company specific. Data is always company specific. Here in USMF company, I have shown three bank accounts. Okay, three bank accounts. Here there are zero bank accounts. Here we have two bank accounts. Records are different, right? Data is different. Company to company, data is going to be changing, but the functionality is the same. Whatever the form we have opened, that is the same in all the companies. This is only the form I have shown you in three companies. Not only three companies, if you open any company, this form will appear, but relevant data will be open. That means when when you are selecting a company, according to the company, the data will be reflected in your system. Basically, the data is fetching from the database. Something like, okay, let me do one thing. Okay, now I'm going to creating a bank, something like a bank account name, bank account, bank name, bank group, like account number, main account, currency, account number, currency. This is what your table. This is what your table. Okay. Now I have opened networking company, sorry, USMF company. I just have entered few records in USMF company. Again, I move to the DAT company. Maybe I will enter some records. I have opened FRRRT company. I have created some records. But when you go back to the again USMF company, whatever the records you have entered, whatever the records are available for this particular company, those records only visible when you are in USMF company. When again, if you come back to the DAT company, if you open DAT company records will show in the user interface. But you are using same form. You are using same form for entering the records, for storing the data. But in the system itself, in the system, this form is just user interface object, but the data will go and sit in table level. Suppose if you go back to the table, if you see the table in SQL Server, you will find all the three companies information at a time. In database, if you open the bank accounts table, you will find total 5 records. Here we have 3 records, 0 records, 2 records. If you open bank accounts table in SQL Server, you will find 5 records. The system will fetch the information according to the company name. According to the company name. For example, let us assume that we have 5 records here. We have 5 records. Okay. These 2 records are belongs to, these 3 records are belongs to USMF company. For example, if you opened USMF company here, if you select USMF company, automatically it will redirect to, one second. If you select the USMF company, automatically the page will be navigated to USMF company and the 2 records will be loaded in your bank accounts form. Suppose if you go to the trends, DAT company, there are no records, so it will show empty form. If you again open the FRT company, it will show 2 records, but it is navigating from single table, same table, that is called bank table. from SQL Server itself. The data is always resided in SQL Server table. When you are opening a form in a particular company, the system will check the user is the user is in which company, from which company the user is accessing the form. According to that, the system will find the records in the SQL server and it will filter the data and it will show to the front-end application. Whenever we are entering a records, there is a field called company name. For example, company. In which company we are entering the data, automatically the system will capture the company name. This is like this. For example, I'm keep on creating a records. I will enter only bank account name, group, account number, currency. That's it. So I don't want to enter the company name because I'm in a DAT company. I'm in a USMF company. Simply I will enter the new record here. I will enter the new record and I will save the record. So system will take care of creating a record in FRRT company. We are in FRRT company right now. Sorry, USMF company. For example, if I entered a bank record right now, if I am creating a new bank account, so automatically this record will save in USMF company. That is taken care by the system itself. No need to enter the company name. Automatically saved in US company on USMF company. Again, if you open USMF company, automatically that record you can able to see. So data is always company specific. Development is not a company specific thing. I mean, so you can't develop a functionality for a particular company. That means right now I'll explain you. Okay, right now there is a bank account, name, bank group, routing number, bank number, main account, currency, and CIA number. For example, I just want to add IFSC code. I just want to add IFSC code a column for USMF company. I don't want to show in another company. Understand my point here. I just want to add one more column here. Column name is IFSC code. That should be visible in USMF company, but that column I don't want in that company. That is not possible. If you added a column in a particular form, that reflections will you can find in all the companies. We can't customize a form or functionality for a particular company. That is not possible. That's what I'm saying here. Data is always company specific. Means suppose here we are seeing 3 records. These 3 records will not be visible in another company. Suppose if you added a column here in this particular form, that column will be visible in all the companies. We can't hide for a particular company. We can't show for a particular company. That is not possible. That's what I'm saying. Development is not a company specific. When we are developing a form, when we are doing something, technical customizations, that we can't make it for a company, particular company. The development is not at all relevant to a company. For example, I need IFSC code in USMF company, but really I don't want in that company. But anyway, I can create a IFSC code column here in my bank accounts table. I will use the data here. I will enter the data in my USMF company. Suppose if I open that company, again that IFSC code column will visible, but simply I don't want to use it. Simply I will leave like that. I don't want to enter the data. But we can't hide for that particular company. That is not possible. ERP stands for this is only the thing. have several companies here. I have several companies. If I want to create a bank accounts table for all the companies, I need to create 6 times. Normally, if I need bank accounts table, bank accounts form or bank accounts table, I need to create 6 times. But here I have created only one time, and I'm using for different companies in all the companies. So lot of work is reduced, right? Simply
Sir,
I
just
have
one
created
quick question. So each company it has a separate database or same database?
single database architecture.
Okay.
365 is, I mean, our Dynamics AX is single database architecture. That is what I'm explaining here. I have created only one time. The bank account table is only one for all the companies. It will accommodate all the companies information at a time in a single table. Whenever we are entering a data, simply I will enter bank account name, account number, group currency, that's it. But automatically there is a system field called company name. In that company name, system will system will automatically take in the company name when we save the record. So that record will be saved against the company. Again, next time when you open the USMF company, system will filter your USMF company records from the table and it will directly show in your user interface. Right now we have 3 records for USMF company. Normally, that's what I'm explaining here. So USMF, we have 3 records actually. So those 3 records is going to be showing when you open the bank accounts form in USMF company. But normally we have 5 records. Actually, we have 5 records in bank accounts table, but 3 records are belong to USMF company. That's what when you open the form in USMF company, 3 records are showing. Suppose if I go back to the DAT company, there are no records, right? No records. Suppose if I open FRRT company, there are 2 records. Simply, let us assume that I have taken only 3 companies. If you open another company, there will be a records in that particular company also. So here the final statement is what I'm trying to explain you. Data is always company specific. That means data always saved on company name. Development is not related to company specific. That means I can't create or I can't customize a functionality for a particular company. That is not possible technically. That is what the ERP stands for. Normally in any other application, if I just want to uh, save the bank accounts information, I need to create 6 tables. For networking company, I need to create 1 table. For trends company, I need to create 1 more table. Like that, we have to create 6 tables to store bank accounts information for 6 companies. But here I'm not going to creating 6 tables for 6 companies. For 6 companies, I'm going to creating only 1 table and I'm storing the data like this. But here the major field is company name. That is default field, that is system field. This is what your ERP definition and the system architecture, and I mean product information, something like a database architecture. You can imagine that how the data is accommodating in our application. If you go back to the any module, for example, if you go to the fixed assets, there are several fixed assets are there here. Expense management, for example, cash and bank management. Okay, there are several functionalities. Let us assume that bank statements. These bank statements are belongs to FRRT company. Let it be open. Okay, I need to select the period of company so that it will reflect the um, this is dialog box. I told you, right? Forms, dialogues, and reports. These are the user interface objects. I mean, you are seeing the application, right? In that application, only we have a three user interface objects like forms. I mean, already we have seen a few forms like a course type form, course group form, bank accounts. All these are all forms. Forms stores the information. I mean, records. And just now I have opened the statements, right? Bank account statements. That is what dialog box. Dialog box is for it is a user interface object. It is also a user interface objects that will give you the criteria. We need to select the criteria. If you click on the OK button, automatically it will reflect the data. This is actually report. It is loading right now. Let it be open. So for any requirement in our dynamics, the tables are very important. The data is always pulled from the fetching from the tables itself. Okay, once it is loaded, I will show you the development area. This is what your report, bank statements. Okay, let us close this report. Go back to the normal user interface. This is a standard application which already developed by the Microsoft. This is a purely standard application, and I have not done any customization in this particular application itself. For example, if I want to customize any functionality in existing application, this application will be accessed. Technical access will be available from Visual Studio. Just right click on the Visual Studio shortcut icon. There is a run as administrator. Let us open the Microsoft Visual Studio. This is what your development area. You can access all the functionalities from any module. Any module. From any module, you can access all the functionalities like tables, forms, and everything, reports, everything you can access from the Visual Studio itself. Basically, as a developer, we need to we need to understand the development of forms. I mean, that is user interface object, development of forms, and after that we need to understand the programming, that is called X++ programming, and also we need to know SQL Server queries. These three things are main. First of all, we need to learn forms development, and after that we need to know X++ programming. After that, SQL programming. That's it. As a developer, if you know these three things, you can able to customize any functionality or any form or any report, any dialog box. You can customize here in existing module. If you want, we can create new things also. Okay, when you open your Visual Studio, it will open like a start page. This is what your dashboard. Here you can see the recent projects which already we developed previously. Here there are new project option, open project option, open from source control. This is what your dashboard start page. This start page we can also open through, if you go to the view menu, here you can see the start page option. If you click again, it will open the same window. In this view menu, there are Solution Explorer, Application Explorer, Team Explorer, Server Explorer, Start Page, Toolbox, and Bookmark window. If you want to go for a full screen, Properties window. These are very important windows. And one more important menu is File, for creating a new project, website, something like that. Okay. After that, one more important menu is Build. I'll tell you build something like what is build, rebuild, something like once we started the training, I'll explain you about build and rebuild concepts. And there is a Dynamics 365 is especially for our development. Okay, deploy, model management, build model, synchronize database. There are options. These are very important menus in our Visual Studio. These are all for our development. Okay, now I have shown you all the details right here, all the modules, all the functionalities. Like we have seen some of the forms. Okay, now if I want to see any one of the functionality here, I just want to see in Visual Studio. If you go to the view, there is an Application Explorer. Just click on the Application Explorer. It will open AOT, Application Object Tree. Here, data types, data model, code, user interface, analytics, reports, label files, security, services, system documentations. These are all default nodes available under AOT. Previously, we have seen a few forms here. Suppose if I'm going back to the human resource management, I have shown you course groups, course group form. Here we have two fields, group and description. If I want to see that course group form, you just need to go user interface. It is a user interface object, right? That's what, go to the user interface. There are forms node. Let me open the form name called. Okay, first of all, let me show you how to find out the form name in Visual Studio. If you right click on the form, see here, the form name is HCM course type group. Remember the name and search here, HCM course type group. HCM course type group. This is your form. If you want to customize this form, we need to add to our project. I mean, we have to create a new project and we need to add this form to our project, and there we need to customize. If I want to add one more column, something like group, description, and duration, something like how many days or how many hours it will take to complete the course. I just want to add one more column. That kind of customization we can create. We can make that kind of customizations by adding this form to our project. So we need to create a new project. After that, we can add this form to our project and we can customize there. Here, if you go to the data sources, this is your table. For developing this form, we have used this table. The table name is also HCM course type group. Okay, go back to the tables. The tables are available in data model. Data model, there's a tables. Let us expand the table node. HCM course type group. See here. And if you expand the tables, specific table, there is a fields. See here, there are two fields. If I want to add a column, once you added this to our project, I can right click on the fields. Here you will find the option called create a new field option. Once you added to our project, then only we can customize this table. I mean adding few fields that we will see in future. Okay, every functionality, each and every functionality we can access from the Visual Studio itself. Any functionality, like if you want to see the more about the AOT. AOT stands for application object tree. Application object means these are all objects like data types, data model, code. These are all within these components. Within the data model component, there are tables, views. These are all objects. In our AOT, everything is an object. Like a table is an object, a form is an object, a view is an object, a query is an object. Everything is an object. That is what application object tree. It is in a tree structure, right? That is what they have mentioned. They have given the name called tree name. Suppose if you want to write some piece of code, there is a code option like classes, and user interfaces for developing forms and all. Okay, like in our training program we will see all the relevant stuff, everything here. AOT. Okay, now going back to the user interface, here there are several modules, right? Those modules you can see in user interface. There are menus. If you go to the menus, you can see them all the module names. See here, accounts payable. For example, we are in HR module, right? We are in HR module right now. Okay, let me collapse all the windows, all the functionalities. Here we have workspaces, workers, position, jobs, departments, benefits, absence, courses, setup is there, right? Now let me go to the HRM. See here, from workspaces to setup. How exactly we are seeing here workspaces to setup? See here, in workspaces, sorry, for example, if you go to the benefits, in benefits we have a few functionalities. Let me expand the benefits here. The same benefits, eligibility, enrollment, inquiries and reports, and setup. Here also you can see the same eligibility, enrollment, inquiry, and setup. If I want to customize something in eligibility, there are a few more things in eligibility. There are a few more things, something like eligibility events. See here, but it is the names. So this is user interface name. Benefit eligibility policy rule type, that is user interface name, but technical name is benefit eligibility policy rule type. HCM, that is a technical name. This is user interface name. In user interface name, you are not, it is not showing HCM word. But when we are creating this object in our Visual Studio, we have created with HCM prefix. This is label. Benefit eligibility policy rule types is the label for this object. If you want to show the properties, go to the properties window. You can find the label name here. I mean, actually it is a menu item. When we are creating a form, we will provide the label name over there, so that the same name will reflect in the user interface. For example, let me going back to the one more scenario. For example, there is a cash and bank management. There are bank accounts, right? There are bank accounts. Cash and bank management. See here, cash and bank management. See here, bank accounts table list page 1. Bank account submenu. Bank accounts. Actually, this is your user interface name. That is called a label. Bank accounts is a label, but technical name is bank account table list page 1. After that, you have seen bank accounts transfer. Bank account transfers. That is okay. But this one, bank accounts, but technical name is bank accounts table list page 1. So anything, if you want to customize, you can see the menus. If you want to access all the modules, the modules means menus. You can go to the user interface component. Here you can open menus. In menus, you will find all the modules. In future, if we want, we can create a new module also. New module in the sense, similarly, a new functionality, complete new functionality, which is not there in standard application. For example, there is no training management module. I can create like that. I can create that kind of functionality in our standard application by creating a new menu. Here, once we started the customization, we can create a new menu and we can add functionalities. Similarly, just like cash and bank management or human resource management, we can add all the functionalities like this: bank accounts, shortcuts, and functionalities under the menus. Letters of credit is the menu, submenu. In submenu, we have 3 functionalities. Like this, we can add all the functionalities. So this is the linking in between user interface and the Visual Studio. Everything you can able to find out the functionalities through the navigations only. I mean, just see the structure, see the structure and understand the product. For example, I'm in cash and bank management, so I just want to go to the periodic tasks. Okay, let's open the menus, cash and bank management. Okay, understand where is the periodic task. Okay, it is a periodic tasks. Okay, if you expand, there are several functionalities under this particular submenu. Suppose if I want to go to the any, for example, payroll positive pay. Okay, you have to find the particular functionality here, payroll positive pay. See here, like this, we need to identify the correct object in Visual Studio. No need to remember anything here. Simply understand the sequence, understand the priority order, and find out your object in the Visual Studio. and that object we need to add to our project after creating the project, and we can go there and you can customize the as per your client requirement.
This conference will now be recorded.
So you are asking me to, the form is same form we are using for all the companies. That is okay, that you understood. But your doubt is, I just want to make some customization which is related to company. I mean, right now I'm in USMF company. I want to add one more column called gender. There is no gender column here. I just want to add gender column for USMF company, but that column should not be visible in something like that company. Let us assume that that is not possible, because data is relevant to company but not development. When you are trying to develop or when you are trying to make some customization, system will not ask for which company you are going to add in this field. System won't ask you. I mean, this Visual Studio is completely not a relevant to company. For example, I'm creating a table, I'm creating a form. System won't ask you when you are creating a table, hey Arjun, for which company you are creating this table. That question will not uh, done by the system itself.
Yeah, that's fine.
System will
So
not ask which
whenever we are
company
creating the
you are
tables or
creating.
forms, yeah, it's applicable for all the companies. That's fine. For example, in the form open trigger, form open event, can we write some condition? For example, this open, whenever the form is open, so we can check the company ID or company name. Based on that, can we show or hide or something? I am asking.
We can do that. We can do that. That we need to hard code the company name. Suppose whenever I'm opening this form, obviously once we learn the X++ programming, we have a knowledge on writing X++ code. When I trigger this form, anyway, few methods will call in the backend. In that methods, I need to go to that methods. I need to write a code, but we need to hard code the company name. That is possible, but not suggestible. For example, I'm opening this form in USMF company, so I need to hard code the company name. Hard coding is not suggestible in any application, not only X. In any application, hard coding not suggestible. In future, maybe I will. That's what. Okay, fine. That is possible. But whenever we are creating a field, please understand here. Whenever I'm creating a table, or whenever I'm doing some customization in Visual Studio, system will not ask for which company you are doing this customization. System will not ask, but we need to write huge business logic for that, like X++ programming. Few more questions. Anything?
So let's say you said you can create a line item and in this form within this let's say the employees. So you want to create a new employee, you can use this top pane and create that, right? So
Yes.
so how does it? So does it automatically reflect in the table that's in the Visual Studio, or how does it reflect there if you have to make any further changes to it?
I mean, when after creating a new employee,
Yeah, you can create one here too, right? You said.
here we have a new button.
Right.
This is a hire new worker page.
Hmm.
Here I can create a new worker. Once you hit the hire button, automatically this record will go and sit into the table. That is done by the system itself. No need to write a code for that.
Okay. So it's already, you basically already predefined it. So
Yes, predefined functionality.
right,
For
okay.
inserting a record, for updating a record, for deleting a record, for creating a record. Actually, there is no code in our Dynamics, in our application.
Okay.
For example, let's go for any other functionality. Something like measure types. Okay, let's access the from the recent places. Loan types. Now I'm going to creating a new record. Car loan, like home loan. For example, 10 year 12. Let us hit on the save button. That's it. Record got saved. For this, there is no code. Coding is not required because that is automatic functionality. System will take care of that. We don't need to write any single line of code to save this record into the database. For example, I just want to edit something like this one. So we can edit this record. We can edit this record. After editing the record, hit the save button. That's it. Automatically, the changes will be done in table level. For example, there is a grace period. For example, the grace period, I can't provide like -3, or else the grace period should be in between 1 to 15. For example, the grace period should not be less than 1, greater than 15. Then we need to write X++ code.
Got it.
Understood here?
Yeah.
Because I'm restricting a value, right? I'm restricting the value here. As per the client requirement, the grace period should not in between only 1 to 15. Suppose if I'm giving 16, we have to show some error message or warning message to the end user by showing one message. You are entering a wrong grace period. The grace period should be in between 1 to 15 only. That kind of message we need to show to the end user. So they will have a knowledge and they will enter in between only. For that, we need to write a code.
Arjun, Anvesh here.
Hmm.
Whether this data is available on the website or we have to create that. Like my question is, how can we practice this entire things? What you're
See,
showing on the screen.
in this user interface, nothing is to practice here. Whatever I'm showing in the browser, this is
Okay.
demo data. This is demo data. This demo data works for the functional consultants, not for the technical people. Technical
Okay.
people is always Visual Studio. Here, we will care about only for creating tables, creating forms, customizations, writing code, writing X++, writing SQL, everything. This is only the thing we will do. This is absolutely not our portion, not our relevant subject. Records is the duty of the end users, not
Okay,
even
got it.
not even functional people.
Okay. As we technical, so we have to work on Visual Studio.
Yes, after creating a form or after developing a form, just we need to add this object to the front end application. That's it. Our portion is done. So
Okay,
they will
that's fine.
access the front end application and they will use it.
Okay, Arjun, got it.
Anything after that?
Yes, Sachin, I have like 3 questions.
Yes. Go
So
ahead.
for example, the employee data, Yeah, I understand it's like a company base. What about the
Yes.
user creation? For example, if I'm creating the new user, it will be applicable for all the company or particular company?
I mean,
The user
what
creation. Yeah, if I'm adding a new user
exactly?
in the system, so it will be applicable for all the companies. User access is different, but I'm asking about the user creation. I create one user, so the user can able to open all the companies or
Yeah, of course.
okay.
One second, let me show you. If you go to the system administration module, there are users. Here, see here, this user admin, right?
Yeah.
Uh, in which company? AX runner, dat company, something like see here. After creating the user, we can assign the company name for which company the user will access.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Also, one more question, like the company name or company ID. So it's a by default field in the AX, right? For example, if I'm creating a new table, so the company name is predefined field for all the
Yeah.
tables, or I have to add the company name for the new tables, or
No, 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 no. See here. For example, I just want to create a bank table. In my bank table, I require bank account, name, group, account number, currency. I require only 5 fields.
mm,
These are the business fields.
yeah,
Along with the business fields, we have 4 more fields are available. That is called record version, um, record ID, data area ID, record ID, record version, partition. There are 4 more fields are available in the table itself. So total, the number of fields in the table is n plus 4. Total number of fields n plus 4 columns. N plus 4. N means your business fields. These are all your business fields. 4 means record version, record ID, data area ID, partition. Data area ID stands for the company name.
okay,
Data area ID is the company name. So here company name will store. For example, I'm entering a bank record. Let us assume that this is exact table in our system like this. For example, I'm entering a bank account. For example, ICICI bank account name, something like one name, group, some group, account number, currency, INR. That's it. Once I save the record, automatically system will generate record version, some number, record ID, some number, data area ID, which company you have entered this record, USMF, and partition one number. That's it. This is the way the system will enter the data for these 4 fields. This is non-editable fields.
okay, I get, yeah,
These 4 fields are business fields. These 4 fields are system fields. These fields are business fields. Only we will enter the data. We can enter the data only in these 5 fields. We can't access these 4 fields.
okay, yeah,
System automatically taking care of these 4 fields. For example, I just have opened USMF company. I'm creating a record. Then automatically system will enter the company name in data area ID column.
okay, yeah.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Also, next one is like the one you are using is on premises, right? It's not a cloud version.
It is not a
So
cloud.
yeah, what even on premise also we have to deploy in the ISS, so we have to open in the browser, right? Or is there any desktop application is there or
No, no, no desktop
no?
application. No.
Okay, yeah.
Only
Can you?
this application hosted in locally.
Okay.
We have a connection in between the SQL Server, Visual Studio, and so that it will open the user interface in browser itself. I mean, in the
Oh,
form of HTML.
okay, fine. Yeah, tomorrow you please open the SQL server and show the database structure. Yeah.
Sorry, unable to open the SQL Server. Now I will show you here. Let me open the SQL Server. But it is a practicing application, right? They have not given any access to open the SQL Server. See here, I am just trying to connect the SQL Server. Okay, but here we can see the data, but it is not suggestible to modify the database. For example, if you go to there are several databases are there: AXDB, tables. Let me find out the table name, which is already there. Okay, last time we just have HCM. One second, let me go to the X data. Just give me a moment. dbo.hc. No, we can't access. Okay, I'll show you that. I'll show you tomorrow. Let me find out the table names and I'll show you.
Okay. If we are creating that table on directly on the SQL server, so that one will be reflected into the front end application, or we have to use only Visual Studio for the table creation and
No.
everything. Mm.
For creating table, always we have Visual Studio. You do not create in SQL Server itself. If you create in SQL Server, that is we are approaching in a back end to front end. Always front end to back end. Our development is client to server. Suppose if you enter anything, if you want to create anything, you just need to approach only Visual Studio. If you create a table in SQL Server, that will not reflect in Visual Studio itself. I mean, we can't use it because there are several reasons. I'll tell you clearly. One second, HCM course. One second, give me a moment. See here, there is a HCM course type group table is there, right? Okay, let me go back to the HCM course, human resource management, or we can open from the course groups. Here we have two records, group and description, right? Okay, now let me open this table, edit it up to 100 rows. I'm going to open the table from the SQL server itself. Okay, now you understood here. This is finance record, human resource, sales, corporate, financial. These are the records we can see here. You can see here all the records you can able to see from here also, corporate, finance, human resource, like that. For example, if you go back to the any company like that company, because this form is universal to all the companies. That is the reason if you open that company also, it is showing 4 records. If you open USMF company also, it is showing 4 records. Okay, that is another way to create a table. I mean, we have two ways to store the data. I mean, universally we can store the data. On company basis also we can store the data. I'll tell you in the next class itself about that. For example, I just have opened loan types. Here we have 4 loans. I think this is also relevant to company name. Let me open USMF company. Same. Same. It is not dependent on the company. For example, I just want to show some small thing. There is a data area ID column will be there. Data area ID. Let me open in expense management. Cash and bank management. Okay, let us open the bank table. Okay, let me find out the table name. Bank account table. Okay. Bank account table. Bank account table. Okay. Okay, there are several columns are there. Account ID, account name, and I just want to show you the data area ID column here. See here, data area ID. Now we are in which company? USMF, right? Let me filter the data based on USMF company. See here, USMF company records. USMF company. This is your USMF company record, and this is also.
So I just want to add something to what you're saying.
Okay. One second. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
I just want to say only 3 records, right? Yes, exactly. See here. These 3 records are belongs to US company. These 3 records. Remaining records are belongs to another company. Remaining records. You can see the company name here. USMF. So data area is the default column in the table. Based on this column only, data will be stored in table itself. This is default field. I told you, right? Data area ID, record version, partition, and record ID. These are the standard 4 fields in any table. In any table. After creating the table, automatically you can find this table field, default fields. Okay, go ahead. I think.
Yeah. So in the whole context, you mean to say that if you have to create tables, create, edit anything, so we have to literally do it from the Visual Studio, but not from this
Yes.
this SQL Server.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So this is just a blueprint of what we are doing, just to go and look at what things happening in the background.
Yes. For example, if I have created a record here in this table, this data area ID, record version, partition, and record ID, these are 4 system fields. In these 4 fields, this data will be generated by AX application, not by SQL Server. Suppose if I have created
Okay.
which record version, which partition ID, which record ID, I need to enter. If I have created a record here,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is only the thing, right? I can add my company name, but I
Yeah.
don't know
Fine.
what exactly I want to add record version, partition ID,
Yeah.
record
I
ID.
got it.
That is taken care by
Yeah. I
the
got it.
A. That is
Okay.
the reason we should not enter any records in SQL Server.
Okay.
SQL Server cannot generate a record ID, cannot generate a partition, cannot generate a record version or data area ID.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Suppose if you created a table here, in table we can't, the system, this SQL Server cannot create these 4 fields in the system itself here. You can create a table here, not a problem, but in this table you can't find these 4 fields.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Understand my point?
Can you enter them
Yeah.
manually?
Yeah. I got it.
Can you enter them manually?
No. If you enter manually, how can our dynamic AX application will respond? And we can't use it. For example, if you
So
created table here,
basically, the
this
mapping
table
is not possible.
we can't use it for AX application.
Okay.
Absolutely not. That is the reason always if you want to create a table, you just need to go to the data model. Here only we have to create a table. Then system will create your data area ID, record version, partition, default fields in your table. And if you enter a record, automatically system will taken care by which company the user is in. That company name will reflect in data area ID, and the system will generate a record ID. System will generate a partition ID, record version. Everything will taken care by the our dynamic AX application. But if you are going manually in SQL Server, if you are trying to enter a record, what I have to enter the company name, record version, partition, record ID. I don't know, right?
Arjun, Anvesh here.
Yes.
So this is on premises, right? So after developing an application, how we are going to deploy in cloud, like what we call, how can we deploy that application cloud? How can we access the application?
I mean, suppose if you created a form here, how can we access from the front end application or what exactly?
Yes, how can we deploy that application on cloud?
Cloud
How
is
can we
different.
access?
Cloud is different. This is on-premise application. Okay, cloud is different version. Whatever the application now manually we have installed in our PC.
In
I
our
have
PC, okay.
installed Visual Studio. I have installed SQL Server. I have configured my AX application with all Visual Studio and SQL Server itself. But cloud is different version. Cloud means Windows Azure. In Windows Azure, it is a like virtual environment.
Okay. So my question is,
in that virtual environment, let me complete. Okay, in that virtual environment, we will install something like OS, operating system. On top of operating system, we need to add all the things like a Visual Studio. Again, in that cloud also we need to install everything. but the accessing scope is different. This application I cannot access from my office somewhere else.
Okay.
But cloud is not like that. If you install cloud, there is a username and password will be there. Suppose if I enter in Windows Azure application, automatically I can able to access my application. That installation process is the same, but the place is different. That's it.
Yeah, got the point. But my question is, so on-premises means we have to access on the company itself, on organization itself. So I won't access this application or this developmentation of a form in my home. So is there have chance to access those things?
If the application is deployed in a cloud, you can access across the globe.
Okay.
You can develop across the globe.
Okay.
Anywhere you can access. But
Okay, got that.
preferably, what the people will do, on-premise development is very better rather than doing development changes, customization through cloud, because cloud will take much time.
Okay. AX is on-premise, and D365 is cloud, right?
Both on-premise will be there and cloud will be there.
Or D365 also.
Yes. Right now I'm
Okay.
using on-premise, means
Okay.
local hosting, completely local hosting. I have not used Windows Azure. Suppose if you want to
Okay.
deploy this total application, Windows Azure application is required. In Windows Azure, we need a paid account. In that paid
Okay.
account, if you go to the Windows Azure if you go into the Windows Azure, they will give you some space, something like Google Drive, something like Apple memory will be there, right? Something like they will give you some space. In that space, you can deploy your applications, like you can install server voice, you can install SQL Server, Visual Studio, you can install X application, everything you can install. You can install it and you can access across the globe.
Okay,
See, two
that's
things.
fine.
Let me explain you with an example.
Okay.
We have a MS Office. I can install manually in my machine. That MS Office is available in cloud also.
Okay.
The same thing. Your files will
Yes.
be available in cloud. Suppose if you have account in cloud, I can install manual also.
Okay.
But synchronization will be there. For example, I have developed something in a local application. I can deploy in cloud also
Okay.
by transferring the files, project files into cloud. I can make changes in cloud, but application is the same, right?
Okay, got it. Got it, Arjun.
Okay.
I have a question here. So, I mean, I've heard something like when they said, yeah, you can deploy Dynamics 365 on premise, but there are certain limitations to it. Like, for instance, you cannot, integrate some of the visualizations tools or, like Power BI and stuff like that. And also some of the online backup and restore or automatic updates and various stuff like that. So there are certain limitations. Is that correct? Or
Yes, of course. There are some certain limitations are there, but the Microsoft goal is entirely this application should be in cloud itself, because on-premise applications we have so many applications we have in the market on-premise, like SAP, Oracle apps, PeopleSoft, Infor, Epicor. All these are on-premise applications only. But there should be some speciality, right? For that, Microsoft did something differently. This application completely deployed in cloud. That is also they have done. If it is in cloud, maybe some of the integrations are very easy to integrate to our existing application, and we can use it very easily.
Okay. But how different is that thing? Like if you're talking about cloud, so is it the same replica are you showing us, or it is something different to access it for
No,
this
no.
particular application?
See, application is the same in on-premise or cloud. Application is same for accessing, for functional people, for technical people, for end users. Application is same, but the area where we have installed, that is different.
Okay.
Application is absolutely same. There are no difference in between cloud version and the on-premise version.
Okay.
All the
Got it.
forms, all the reports, all the functionalities, see all the this one like bank accounts form, everything is same.
Okay.
So after AX, we are moving for D365, right?
Let us see how the things will happen. I will plan for it anyway. I have two applications in my machine. I have a 2012 application I have and a D365. So we can plan for it and we can have the training.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, you will have a knowledge on both applications. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure. Thank you,
I'll
Arjun.
give.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.